All right, guys. I think that we are live, maybe. All right. I never know. I see the red light coming on. I think that we're good. Thanks for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. This is going to be a fun one. But first, I'm going to go through tomorrow. Guys, don't miss out. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on Brad, the Comeback Card Investors show. It's our every other week off-centered show. I'm excited for that. It's just a time. It's a 90-minute time frame where I get to make fun of Brad. So it's always a highlight of my week. And I know he's going to have comments about my hair, but it's starting to grow back. It's starting to grow back. It's starting to fill in a little bit. So we're in good shape. So I'm ready to take on Brad tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to that. All right. And tonight I have got on a special guest, a guy that I've never actually met before, Carsyn, and he has a new grading company that he is unveiling. And so I wanted to give him an opportunity to just kind of answer questions, talk about it, share kind of what their plans are, what they're doing. I don't have any affiliation with the company. I'm not an investor or anything like that, but I heard about it. He told me about it. And I was like, well, I gotta at least get you out there and at least give you a chance to talk about it. Cause I think that competition and grading is never a bad thing. Never a bad thing. All right, let me go ahead and bring him on. Carsyn, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. Kind of late. But you always got to, for me, I got to get the kids to bed. It's just like, some people are like, hey, let's do it live at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm like, I can't swing it at 7.
Dude, my mom is watching my 3-year-old right now because, he'll hang out with mommy for a little bit when he gets home from daycare. But usually, like, whenever he starts thinking it's getting close to bath time, he's like, I want to go upstairs and play monster trucks with daddy. So
exactly.
We had to take him over to my parents because he wouldn't quite understand. Next live stream, we'll get him on there because he's much better looking and funnier than I am. So,
well, good. I know the life, the small kid life. It takes over. It takes over. So yeah, I totally get it. Absolutely. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, I haven't met you face to face. We've kind of commented. We've commented back and forth on videos and stuff. Oh, they're saying, okay, Ziggy's saying that your volume is a little bit low. Are you able to turn that up a little bit on your end?
Let me see. Oh,
I can hear you pretty well, but
hello.
Yeah, does that sound better?
Hello.
If you're in the chat, I can hear you fine, but
yeah, I don't know if I hit. Let's see. I hit the mic settings and it's not giving me an option to crank it up or anything.
I can hear you pretty good. Maybe just lean in. Maybe just, I can hear you.
Okay, it's turned down. There we go. It says automatically adjust mic volume. I turned mine up. There we go.
Okay. All right.
Is that better?
I can hear you well. Yeah. Okay. I think it's better. All right. Good.
Perfect.
All right. So how did you get into cards? Was it as a kid and then you got out, got back in? Have you been in for the last 30 years? What's your story with cards? How did it all happen?
Well, I collected as a kid. I think maybe 87 tops was maybe my first set. Mark McGuire rookie card, and then I'd go get the Olympic rookie and all that. He was my idol growing up, man. Actually, my dad used to work for it was called HSN. It's like Fox Sports now or something. He used to work for them back in the day, and they used to give him tickets for me to go to the Rangers game when the A's would play in Texas because I grew up in South Arkansas.
Oh, and, nice.
Mark McGuire, we stay at the hotel, and I think I was probably 8 years old, and my parents spotted him out at the swimming pool, and so they're like, go autograph one of your cards and take it to him, and so I thought that was the best idea ever until I actually started walking towards this beast of a man out there on, laying by the pool. And I flew. I might have walked on water that time. I blacked out. I don't even remember the whole thing. But I gave him my baseball card. And apparently I said, here, Mr. McGuire, I'm going to be famous one day. Here's my autograph. I gave him one of my little baseball photographs signed. And went to the game, didn't think anything about it. And later that night, back at the hotel, it's late. My parents wake me up, and they're like, somebody's, here wants to see you. And, like the only time I've ever been woke up in the middle of the night to do something like that at that age is like because Santa Claus was gone, so
yeah, right.
I don't know what's going on. So I go down, we go down to the lobby, and they're like, Mark's limos parked out front. I cannot remember like anything after that, except for apparently I was like bawling, crying the whole time. I was so scared. And we got in the limo. He signed the ball, like 3 of my rookie cards and all kinds of stuff. It was like the coolest thing ever. So that was,
Wow.
kind of a decent little story of, how I got into kind of card collecting. I think that was probably like his 88 or 89, whenever that actually happened. I was like 7 or 8 years old, playing, about to start playing Little League, was playing whatever coach pitch or whatever at the time. And, I kind of stuck to it till about 14 or 15. And then I got back into, you go to college and all that. And once I got out of college and got a job and started making money, I kind of got back into it. And then I got married and had kids, and I, kind of backed off. But then when, my kids got to be 7, 8 years old, or at least the oldest one anyway, we started, every time we go to Walmart, we buy a box of cards, all this stuff. And, eventually whenever we had our youngest kid, I got out of real estate, spend more time with them. And I was looking for a job. COVID hit, and the job that I got hired for never started. And so, my son just told me one day, he's like, "Hey man, you should get it. You really like sports and you like cards. You should get into it, man. That they're on fire." So, we had a Luka Doncic rookie Prism, red, white, and blue that we pulled out of a pack, and the one Prism pack we opened, and we sold it, and that's kind of how I got started. Graded cards ever since. And in November, I started writing a business plan for a grading company, and took a little break when HGA launched, because it kind of took the wind out of my sails, because, any great idea you have, if you don't like actually take action on it, implement it, there's someone in another part of the world, or even the country, or one state over, that's actually, already going to beat you to the chase. So, when prices started increasing and everything in February, March, and we could see the, backlogs building up, we just kind of started figuring, hey man, if I'm ever going to do this, it's go time. And that's kind of how we started working on putting everything together, so that when we do launch, we are taking pre-orders right now. But we're taking our first order right now. Our slabs are being poured right now here locally, and we're gonna get them in next week. And so all the orders that we're getting this week, they're actually gonna go into our slabs with our security on the back. It's got our logo molded into the back of it and all that good stuff. So yeah, we've just been working on putting everything into place to get started, and hopefully get some orders and show the card community what we can do.
Interesting. Yeah. No, I thought a lot of kind of the things that you had come out with were good ideas. A lot of innovative ideas, and it does seem like the AI piece, or kind of there's a machine learning element to it now, to where I know that PSA just came out with today or yesterday the news of that they're getting into that market as well. So that seems to be kind of a mainstay. And for me personally, I think that there's room for many different grading companies. I don't think that it's necessarily, one or two. I think there's going to be, pockets for many. So I don't think that your timing is bad necessarily. I mean, this is the highest demand that there's ever been for graded cards, so you're walking into a pretty decent environment, I would say. So you've launched your website. You've already started taking orders. Is that right? Or are you starting to take orders here in the next few days?
No, we started, we launched our website last night because we knew you were releasing a video. We have it, launched in a stage of something we'll get to later tonight. But we have our website up. You can go on, check out online with the quantity that you want. It's either a standard submission, and you just select how many cards you're going to submit. Check pay, and then your submission form and all that'll be emailed to you. All that good stuff. So you have your time to fill it out. There's no rush, because one thing, I've tried to get in with HGA when they did launch. I've been in there every week, and gotten in one time and got in there and started making changes to my order, because I noticed that I hadn't been in there in like 2 weeks, and I had a card in there that I'd already sold, and I'm like, well, I don't want to pay $50 for that. So ended up not getting in. And then, last week, I think I was like 11:33 on the queue and didn't get in. So we wanted people to be able to go in and check out online if they wanted to submit some cards right now and have a day or two to decide, do I really want to send this card in, or do I want to, send something else in, or am I waiting for, my Justin Herbert Select that I just bought off of eBay this week, since the prices are coming down with retail. I actually bought one last night. The retail is bringing the Select rookies prices down for football. And so somebody might want to submit that, but if they had to, pick today and it wasn't in the mail, then they wouldn't have to. So we have it set up like that right now. Our full website, we have someone that's working with us on our submission form and our pop report. Actually meeting with him either tomorrow or Friday. You can view our pop report online right now. It's a simple, Google sheet with, the cards that we've graded so far. And we've put a couple of examples of kind of how, you'll be able to see our labels and stuff on the videos. There's like an animation that plays. It's shows you the back of the label, the subgrades, and then the front, the whole label design. And we just did that because we thought it was something different, like I've seen with HGA, some of their labels have affected the prices of cards, and some of them sell for more than PSA 10s or that. So, as far as, our labels and stuff like that, like they're, it might be a little bit different than some of the other custom label companies, but we're excited to, get out there and let you work with one of our designers to, make the best looking card you can.
We've got some good questions in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and just run through a few of them. I think that's probably the best way to do it, so we can just kind of tackle, a few different areas. Anthony asks, is there any restrictions on the type of card that can be submitted? So are you guys taking Pokemon cards, Marvel cards? Are they strictly sports cards? Will there be, different labels for non-sports cards, or do you have any sort of, plans for that? And then also, before you answer that, Carsyn, what is the website? So I can just put it into the comment section.
Oh, it's puregradedx.com. It was right there. It was underneath my picture, but the comment's covering it right now.
All right. I think puregradedx.com, right?
Yeah, I could type it into the chat right here if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead and throw it into the chat.
Let me make sure that's right. There we go. I don't know. Do you have any link blockers on there? Because sometimes when you post a website, it doesn't actually post.
Yeah, maybe it's not going through. All right, guys, we'll just go pure, P-U-R-E. It's Pure Graded X.
Yeah, if you take this comment down for a second, can you move the comment down?
Yeah.
It's on the screen, yeah.
Hold on, hold on, bear with me. Sorry, technical difficulties. Yeah, there you go. It's right there. Easy. It's right there by Carson's name. Pure Grade X. Oh, so it's Grade X, not Graded X.
No, it's Pure Graded X. Oh my gosh.
So Carsyn,
let me fix it.
He wrote it in wrong. So hold on. It's Graded plural X.
I tried to do this on my phone. I don't even know how to change that now. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, I recorded one of these once before, and I guess when I was typing it in, I had the camera vertical, and it made me do the whole thing vertical, and kind of looked weird on the screen. So yeah, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. puregradedx.com. Perfect. All right, there we go.
All right, there it is. All right, there you go, guys. Okay, cool. Sorry. This is blue collar operation, guys. This is this is a middle class operation. We're still working up to it. All right. Let's go back. There was Ziggy had a good question up here. When will the first Pure Graded X slabs hit the market? Do you have some that are already going out that are, that are going to hit eBay to customers, or are we still working through that over the next couple of weeks?
We actually have a couple orders. That one that has already, I guess the guy overnighted it. It got here quick. We've had one order. We have it graded, and tomorrow the labels will be finalized. Slabs are sealed, and have those shipped back to him. So I'm not sure, his plan, if he's going to sell them or if he plans on keeping them, but it should be soon. I mean, we have 3 or 4 other submissions that, we took from YouTubers that we were talking to, like yourself, that submitted cards whenever we were talking to them about, sending them some samples or giveaways or whatever. And they submitted cards.
I could have got some cards in. I could have got some.
You could have put some cards. You just so busy, man. You don't have time to submit cards, but we will send you a couple slabs to look at and see. If you decide one day to start submitting raw cards to get graded, then hey.
No worries, man. No, actually, no. Just to support your business, don't send anything to me free. I'll be a customer. I'll send. I'll pay. No, I want to. There are cards actually I was going to submit, but just kind of see the process. I was going to make a video about it too, document it. So yeah, don't send me any free stuff. I'll pay. What is the submission process? You go to the site. How does that work? Break that down.
Okay, so the site basically right now has a standard submission, which is $25 a card, and these are our initial things. We're going to. Our goal is to not allow. We're going to limit the submissions, so not allow unlimited orders, because the thing we don't want to do is we don't want to increase prices right away and kill our growth that we're having, or take the investment that out of the hands of people that are sending cards to us, because anytime you change the prices, you never know how the market's going to react to that. It could be a reaction through, well, I ain't buying no more of their slabs on eBay, or it could be that they're not sending them any more cards. So I mean, there's multiple ways that could affect the price of your slabs, the amount that you're getting. So we have a limit on the submissions. We're taking on this order we have on there right now. I believe there's 1,500 total cards. We have 1,000 standard card submissions that are 30 business day returns. We're allowing 20 bulk orders, which when you check out, it says $400. That's for one bulk order. And you just send us 20 cards and it's $20 a card. Basically, you get a $5 discount for sending us that amount. Plus you get a free custom label upgrade on bulk orders, but we're only allowing 20 of those because we wanted to give everyone a chance. It's first come, first serve for this, particular order. I don't think we're going to go to a queue system. We may have to. We're getting some people to come work on the website and, just in preparation of, if we do, have submission launch times or dates that our website hopefully doesn't crash. And who knows, it could be crashing right now. Let me know in the chat below, because
the site opened up today and it's closing today.
Yep. We open today, we're closing today. Yep. Yeah. That's how it works sometimes. Not all businesses succeed. So
hey man, you tried.
Yeah, we tried. That's all we can do is try, right? We put together a plan. We thought it would work. Our website crashed, and well, we never made any money. But
you know what? I cut you off before you answered. So are you taking Marvel cards, Pokemon, non-sports cards? Are you taking those?
We are going to take Marvel cards, Pokemon cards. We're taking obviously any of the sport cards, entertainment. We did some. If you go on our Instagram, it's at Pure Graded X. You can check out, some of the labels we've done. We've done some wrestling labels. We've done some Pokemon labels and stuff. And one of the main graders, he's been grading sports cards for everybody. He's also done Pokemon as well. And so, we didn't want to really, I don't really care. It's not really as big a deal for me as, I've been a investor flipper for the last 6 to 9 months. And, like being in this hobby, what, like I really want to be is a collector who, can use his investments or his cards he purchases to get into something that I really would like to hold on to and, hand down to my one of my sons one day, if that, if they want it, or if I pass away, then, it's like, hey, my wife has, something valuable to sell off to pay for the medical bills or what, whatever the case may be. And so, that's something that I feel like a lot of grading companies, when they get backed up, their first move is to increase prices, or they have it set up so that the cheapest cards, they don't get any love. It's like, hey, the first guy we're going to extend dates out on is our regular customers. Like, wouldn't you imagine that most grading companies, the bulk of their submissions are probably standard submissions, right? I mean, it may be different in this day and age where people don't have openings to do it, but it's because they put all the precedence on, express orders, how we make the most money. And something we've done is that, we're limiting our express orders to, I think it's like 5 to 10% of our orders. And when those express orders are just as luxury for us as they are for you. We're getting express orders because you hit it big out of a pack usually or something. That's when grading companies get express orders, is because somebody pulled something that they want to get back quickly and have slabbed up and sell it. And so when we adjust our times, if we do have a backlog, it will be taking away a percentage of the express instead of adding days to our regular submission that, people are doing it for. I mean, the day that I said there's no holding back, I'm putting every ounce of energy I have into this, was when SGC moved out of the $25 a card spot. Like, I was like, already had all this out. I've been working on labels and stuff, designs. And, whenever that happened, I was like, hey man, we got to go right now, because there's an opening right here where a company who comes in, who, gives out accurate grades or puts a system in place where that their grading is accurate, and they have an attractive label and slab, then at $25 a card, this is going to make sense to a lot of people. So our goal for the next 30 to 60 or 45 to 60 or 30 to 60 days is to figure out how to streamline all of our processes with grading, with creating custom labels, because, or not create, we charge extra for custom labels. And unless you order certain levels, we'll give you one for free. But we're limiting the amount of custom labels by doing that, so that we can go out and design, in our beginning of the month meetings, we can design labels that are going to come out 3 submissions from now that will replace another one of our labels, so that it's just we hire someone and they can input information from, the list of cards that we have that are being graded. And, right now our base labels, we have an X collection, which is for basketball. It's a Court X. We built a custom basketball court for every single NBA team. We have Team USA, Supersonics, Bobcats, some random, throwback teams and stuff like that. We just use we used a lot of local sayings that they had for that team. Like I think you have a Saints one where in the middle of the label we put "Who Dat." We got all different kinds of stuff like that. Our baseball is called Stadium X. Costa Rica card collector Thomas, he's been featured on a lot of YouTube channels. He's a digital artist. He did all of those. We took the inside photographs from different stadiums around the Major League Baseball, and kind of the same theme with the local slang. We got the Cubbies, we got the Bravos for the Braves, the Fish is the Marlins, just stuff like that. And then we have a color match where we went through and let me see if I can grab one of these back here. We've went through and graded a ton of my cards. We practiced on them, and we have all these color matches already designed, where all we have to do is stick in, something relevant to the team name, or a picture or something here in the middle, the grade and the name. And so, that's what we've been doing, over the past 30 to 60 days is we see that the grading industry does not take delays well, which they shouldn't. And they also don't like that, certain companies, you can only submit so many cards. So we're trying to figure out, how we can level up, faster than it's been done before. And we have virtual graders that we've started We had a couple that we'd already talked to, but, your video this morning, you mentioned we're hiring. We've had, a ton of people who, have sent us their resume of, why they could be a sports card grader or that they were a sports card grader at some point to do virtual grading for us, to, look over all of the scans and, images that we have of each of the cards. And so, yeah.
Good stuff, man. Ziggy asks, this is a good question. How do you want cards to come there? Do you want them in soft sleeves, top loaders? Okay. What's kind of ideal for that?
So I would say, how I like to send mine in, you obviously have the card savers, which are probably the best to do that. And here's why that I think those are the best is I keep all my cards usually in either that or a top loader. And if it's in a top loader, I put a team bag in it or over the top of it. And it's not because, I want to keep the dust out of there. And because dust and particles and hair, stuff like that can scratch the surface of the cards. And, the surface is just as important as all the other things. And we know that, not always printing is, sometimes those cards come out of the pack already with some, issues or defects on them. So, that's basically, we'll take them in either way. But if you're going to send them in top loaders, I would put a team bag over the top of them. And maybe even if you want to put tape over the top, some people like doing that, some people don't. Use blue painter's tape. Do not use Scotch tape. It's tough to get. Or shipping tape. I get a lot of those from eBay with shipping tape on the top, and I'm just like, okay, either I'm going to bend the card when I pull the tape off, or cut the card trying to get this thick, tape out there. So yeah, we're okay with taking either one of those right now, and our final thing is coming up with our way of shipping the cards back that's unique. I have some here that I've been working on. There's no label on them yet, but you can see here when we get the cards in, they're photographed and all that stuff, and they go into their permanent home. They don't get sealed off, but we put them into a team bag so that they, obviously, anytime these things rub up against each other, dude, you're risking scratches being all over them. So right into a slab sleeve and in the slab. And then, the only other time that they're going to come out is for the final check after they've done that, and to put the label in there and then seal it off. That's it. So that's kind of how we want to, go about doing this is, we want to take the cards out of the grader's hands. But when I researched AI, we also don't want to take jobs away from the humans. And man, if you've ever taken, pictures with the scanner and the microscope, or had your phone zoomed in at 10x on the corners, if you can't tell a card's, a corner's condition from there, then, we probably need to meet with the optometrist. That's what I tell my kids. Like, he likes the grade cards. He loves sending in the Pokemon cards he pulled. He just, check this out. So I bought him some cards because he was having a bad day. So I bought him a 10 box of Tops. So when I went to get those selects that the Target didn't have, I stopped by Walmart, and they had one of these 10s, and he pulled a black refractor Acuna out of 25 today. So,
wow.
Yeah. So he's like, first thing he says is, Dad, tell Alan and Thomas to get on the custom label. I'm getting it graded. He's like, it's a 10. I've already checked it, because I left to go downstairs and eat after he pulled it before we did this stream. And he's like, come back upstairs. He's like, I already looked it over. It's a 10, but he knows all the stuff to check it out, because he's done this with me, for probably, I probably graded 1,500 cards in the last 6 months. So, yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. What about, thick cards like National Treasures? Do you have any issues grading the thicker cards?
No. Here's what I honest opinion of the thick cards is that a lot of times people do grade them. I feel like they kind of look smushed into the slab, and that's one thing we don't want to do. We are having our normal size slabs poured right now, and on our next order, we're going to get them to build us a mold for the thicker card. So we will You won't be delayed if you send in any thick cards, because we will have a little bit deeper slab that we're going to get built for those, because I feel like if you even like our slab is almost the same. I don't have a PSA slab sitting here, but it's pretty, I mean, pretty close to the same. It's all the same dimensions and everything. They're thin. They stack if you want to stack them, but if you stack them, they're going to scratch probably. That just is what happens to them, because I get those in all the time. But we want to have a safe place for your card, and not have the front plastic sticking on there. So yeah, we're going to have some thicker slabs for the National Treasures, because I have some National Treasures, and they were really snug fitting in there. So yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. All right. Ziggy brings up another good point. So there's the grading piece, and then there's authenticating cards, and that's a whole different animal in itself. Are you guys authenticating cards, or just grading cards without any sort of kind of guarantee on that piece?
Here's what I can say on that is that we know that we're going to have people try to send us cards that aren't real, right? Like, we're not going to grade. I know there are some companies that grade reprints. We won't grade those. There are a lot of oddball cards out there, though, that some companies do grade and some companies won't. We will grade those. One of my favorite things about this hobby, and I think I've told you that before, is I like to collect under the radar cards. The Kobe's, Jordans, and LeBrons I buy. I can't afford the rookies to buy them yet. I'd like to buy those, but I buy cards, that hidden gems that are very low graded, stuff like that, or they're maybe not even known if they're real, and I do research to find out about that. So one of my favorite things is researching cards and figuring out what a card, where it comes from, and what the background is on it. And I would say in the beginning, we're not going to offer our company doesn't have the name authentication in it, because we don't plan on authenticating any autographs or anything. But if you send us, a fake card, we're not going to grade a fake reprint or anything like that. So yeah, no, so I guess we are authenticating to some extent, and it's going to happen at some point. If technology is there to stick a card in a computer and grade it, PSA's got it now, then the technology's there for someone with more skills than me on a computer or design tablet to go out and create a card that might be tough to figure out the differences. So that's something that we're going to go after. And here's one thing that I think we're going to offer that maybe other companies don't, is you get a lot of cards back sometimes that it's just, sometimes it says missized, sometimes they just don't grade it. That you get it back, they didn't get it graded, you still getting charged for it. They send you a little label. PSA, maybe another company has some of the descriptions on there. But I think if we run into any issues on any of that type of stuff, besides doing research, if our research isn't coming back with, positive results, then our next thing would be to reach out to the customer and talk to them about it and say, because sometimes that's a good thing. And sometimes when you reach out to them and you can tell it's they're being shady, then, we don't want to work with that. We don't want to work with that. We don't want to grade reprints or anything like that. But we aren't opposed to grading a card that some artist designed that it is cool and people are buying it online. Then, yeah, we're going to do our research on the card. So, yeah.
Okay.
I hope that answers this question.
What about storage? So if you have, you have the orders coming in, where are they, do you have a certain space for that you're storing the cards, or how is that being done?
Yeah, man. Just in my bonus room. If you sent me an order today, right this second, that it comes to my house. I worked with a realtor this afternoon. We're looking for a building. We're going to be, we're looking, where I live is a suburb of Bentonville, Arkansas. It's called Centerton. It's right next to Bentonville. And there's some more industrial type spaces out here that we are looking for something that's kind of a mixed use office and warehouse type of deal where we can have, offices for our labels, a place for our label designers, a place for our graders, obviously the shipping and receiving and going out, and then a place outside where we can, put slabs together or crack the slabs if we have to crack something open. Somebody sends us something in another, deal. So yeah, I mean that all of that stuff is in the works today. Your cards will be mailed to me, and in the coming weeks we will be moving into our new office space, which we'll be close. It'll still be here in Arkansas. That's where we're going to be located out of. But yeah, we're going to have a whole designated assigned areas, rooms, whatever you want to call them, for each of the departments or processes that it's going to go through in grading. And being here in Arkansas, we're able to find some. It's not cheap here. We live in the one of the probably the most expensive area in Arkansas for real estate because Walmart home office is here. But we're able to get some pretty good deals on some space where outside of town here where we've been looking. So.
Awesome, man. All right. Gate City Picker, good question here too. The pop report. I think it's always important for a company to have a pop report. So good thinking to have the pop report. How do you see that kind of expanding? Because I could see that getting out of hand fairly quickly.
God, yeah.
If you get a lot of orders, the Google spreadsheet, do you have plans to kind of migrate that into the site or, how do you see that going?
Yeah. So, I've got a couple people that I'm talking to right now. My biggest thing is that, no matter what company I graded with in the past, that, I would always look on PSA's pop report to pick out some of the cards that I wanted to get graded because I knew, if I was grading with, or even if I was grading with GMA or SGC or, whatever, if I could attack these cards that were low on the pop report that I felt were, going to take off soon, then, I could get a better return from one of the, lesser, resale value labels because I was going after cards that, people were, I see them have this and then I see the raw version selling like crazy on eBay. I'm like, okay, well, all those cards are about to get sent here. So if I have one and can get it back in this slab, then, I'm actually have a lot of buyers that are, interested in purchasing this. And when I buy those cards before they take off, then it's, I don't have a lot into it. So, invest or return on investment for, selling slabs is not always about which slab gets the most value. Sometimes it's just about like how quickly you're able to turn over the profit. And, I have all the respect in the world for PSA or any grading companies because, I don't have any problem with any of them. They've all, started where I am at this point and worked their way up to where they are. And, in order for you to have that kind of, respect in the hobby, where people actually trust you to send your cards and give an opinion on that, then, I am going all in and learning from, the people that have done this before me. And, PSA sometimes can take a long time to get cards back. And I see a lot of people say, I'm just going to send to PSA because they got the most value. And it's like, a lot of people trust that, but what cards are you sending to them? Because, even when they were still accepting the other cards, you weren't if you were sending them anything but, 6 week or less orders, I think it was $75 about 2 months ago. You weren't getting cards back. So, there's lots of different ways to make money in this hobby. And we just want to, help provide that.
Well, something that's really interesting, and I'm going to watch this market because I think it's really kind of cool. I know you were talking about HGA earlier, has come out with kind of innovative slabs, like as far as the creative slabs, and you've kind of taken that even a step further in some ways, I would say, with some of the the Whodad and the for the Saint stuff, and you have some really cool stuff there. I could see. Do you want to compete with PSA at some point down the road, or are you content with, appealing to the collector base that maybe just wants their card slab that they love, that's got a cool slogan on the slab, or something that keeps it protected, that is cool. It's cool to look at aesthetically. What's kind of and I know you're kind of early, so
yeah,
the idea of competing with $1 billion company is not probably on the radar, but I guess that's kind of, have you thought about that piece?
Yeah, let me finish answering the Google spreadsheet. We're moving something a little bit more advanced where you can actually see each card in a system, search it, and then when you search it, you can click on the play button and it plays the label animation. You'll see the back, front, and the subgrades, because our labels do not have subgrades on them, but our pop report does.
Oh, okay. So the labels don't have the subgrades, but the pop report does. Okay. Yeah. Good to know. All right.
And then to answer your last question, we would love to be able to compete with PSA. Our main goal right now is not to necessarily compete with PSA. It's to build a reputation in the hobby through, I feel like the most important thing that is missing, even in a lot of great companies, now they're all putting out some kind of post, when something's going to change, which is good. But, when I got into doing this, full time last summer, there was a lot of people who, had cards sitting places that had never heard from their companies. It's like, it didn't matter what company you were grading with. And I'm sure that's, maybe because that was the first time it happened in the hobby. But my first thought whenever I tried to start grading cards at that point, or now that I'm putting together a company, is that our number one goal is customer service. Like, we need to be, over, prepared to, communicate with our customers on, besides just automation. And that's what I tell, the guys that I work with, is that sure, we need to build out a lot of automation, because, I was in real estate, I did this forever, and it's not always sending them something about their cards that are there. It is just touching base with these people. And, I know when you get tons of people that are tons of cards, and you start having all this stuff that, goes on, that people think that they're not going to expect to be responded to right away. But when they are, responded to within 24 hours of us getting something, and we're able to meet deadlines, then I think that's going to earn respect for us, from the people that are grading with us, but also, help our slab values whenever we first come out, is because, people are going to be talking good about the experience they had with Pure Graded X, instead of, man, I sent those guys my cards, and I don't know where they went, but
this is kind of funny. Mike says a cool slogan would be, "It's not trimmed or soaked in peroxide." Maybe you could be, you could have like a Garbage Pail Kids series where you have funny grading slogans. I don't know. I mean, maybe, honestly, like, I'm just kind of being funny, but that also could catch fire. That could be a popular thing. I could see that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, card grading, I mean, obviously you want the people that are looking the cards over to take it seriously, but the label, the slab, we're going to keep our, stuff consistent with how it looks, but, you can go out there and have fun with it. If you're buying Pokemon cards as an adult, I buy them sometimes. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that do, but wouldn't you, if you are still that much into, something that is one of, animated and everything, you want to display something that, represents what you're displaying. And I think that you're right. I mean, you can have all kinds of fun with several different things. We've done, we did wrestling where, the ring was on fire, and, we have all kinds of different stuff that we've done. But, also we're going to give, the people that grade with us, that do customs, a chance to, give their input as well. If we'll send you a couple options, and if you have an idea, we'll work with you on your idea to, put your idea onto the label, so that, you get what you want.
All right. So I think that we've established you're going to have cool labels. I think that cool labels is definitely going to be something that your company offers. This is a good question. I think that we can kind of seg in here. I talked a little bit on this morning's video, but let's kind of walk through that. So you've got the virtual graders, but kind of, take us through step by step. you get the submission and just kind of walk us through exactly how that will go. If you could.
Yeah, for sure. And the graders, the virtual graders are off-site, by the way. They are all off-site. Some of them are on-site. I mean, some of the virtual grading will be done by people that are here on-site in the beginning, because right now what we've been doing is kind of setting what PSA probably is going to do with their AI grading is that we grade cards, we put them, in the sets, and we use that to build okay, last time we graded a 2021 Topps Raphael Devers, or 2021 Topps Refractor 7, the 70th anniversary one. These were the flaws that we found, and this is how we graded those flaws, so that, and I don't know my son just pulled this card, so I'm just pulling it out of here. But like, if there's print lines on it, it's like, okay, last time we deducted a half a point from the surface for some print line, light print lines that were on there. We're not going to have cards going out graded that, you see these two cards online. They both, one of them had 2 print lines and it got a 9 on the surface, and the other one had the same 2 print lines and it got a 9.5 on the surface. That's something that we've been, diligently going through and looking cards over, and developing a system for, okay, this many defects found, virtual on the photos and stuff is, this many point deduction, and so on and so forth. So we get the cards in here and they're checked in. You get an email notifying, saying that we got them, that, a label, one of our designers is going to be reaching out to you and talk, discussing any customs or, label options that you may have that you didn't know about.
Okay, so question right there. So the first step is, you get it in, you've got virtual grader takes a look at it, looks at the scans after you've scanned it in and everything. The guy, so you're a grader, and then is the guy with 15 years of experience also local to Arkansas? Is he where you are?
He is here where I am. Yep.
So the virtual graders can be anywhere technically, but then the cards themselves are with you guys in Arkansas, and that's where you get that last look at it, the human eyes on it.
Yeah, so me and him will be, doing the scans and taking the photos, that kind of stuff like that. And the scans and the photos will be to highlight what we see, looking under the light or the magnifying glass, to send to the virtual grader. They'll go through, mark everything that they see, and then, it'll come back to us and we'll go back over it again. And then, we'll give it the grades and then send it over to the labels to be, done once they've checked and been done. Each time the card moves, you're going to get notified. So, when your labels are being made, you'll get notified. When the cards being scanned in, you'll get notified. When it's being graded, you'll get notified. And then, lastly, you'll get, your bill for whatever the, shipping cost is to go back to you, depending on how many cards that you sent in.
All right. How many people do you have doing the custom slab design? Because I know you mentioned, like, if someone wants a custom, a designer reaches out to them. I'm just thinking, the reason why I asked that is because I feel like that designer is going to get real busy, pretty fast. If you get a lot of orders and they're, like, how do you see that going?
This is how, so we have people that are going to be over the label design department. And then we have people who are just going to be label, like, I call them button pressers, that I don't know what else to call them, but they have all the, specifications for the font, the size, where it goes on the label. And those people, all they will be doing is inputting name and player and the grade in there. Everything else will already be on the label from the design department. And then if it's a custom, we actually are hiring people to do the custom labels. And it's like basically a per, you'll come and you'll work for us and you'll get paid per, job that you complete. We got a lot of people that have reached out to us that already want to do that. So right now, obviously there's been 4 of us that have been putting all this together, but our, now that we've launched our website and everything, our hiring is, is where we're at. We're talking to a couple other guys that are here locally to, become graders. And as we go through and, respond to all the people that have reached out to us about working for us, there may be some people that would be happy to relocate to work for a new grading company. So.
Okay, cool. I felt like this is a good question from the cardeal.com. Any sort of difference with vintage cards, how you're dealing with vintage cards? Will they get any sort of different type of a slab, or is there any sort of, the question here is any knowledge of cardstock size? There's obviously lots of nuances just going back. I saw a question about pre-war cards, with obviously these sets have different nuances to them. Any experience with those cards, or any ideas kind of, how you would deal with those?
So here's how, I'm been, building out all the processes and going through all this stuff and writing it all out, putting it into action. And what I've done for everything that, I've researched and come across is that basically if I don't know something, or, one of the graders don't, then that's a topic for discussion that we all come together and we figure out. I go and look up that set from, whatever the set is. We find out how it's been graded in every single, grade that, from 10 to 1, or 3s and E's to 10s. There's probably not very many 10s and stuff like that. But, finding out what the other companies have graded the cards, the sizes, all of that stuff is part of our research. And like I said before, I enjoy doing it, and finding out, about new cards and stuff like that is, it's something that we'll work hard to become, the experts in, once we get going on it. It's just, I'm not an expert in pre-war cards at this moment, but Lamaro asked me, and I've been looking it up and already have all the dimensions and everything. And so I have one thing is that, I've been looking over some cards. I think we talked about the Patrick Mahomes, that has the ding over here by his helmet or whatever. There's 2018 optic flash cards. A lot of them have, the print line stripes and down the chest or whatever. So there's something that I've noticed too is Joe Montana rookie card. I think his bottom of his card, I think it might be turned sideways, the back anyway. On the bottom border on PSA 10s anyway is very thin compared to the top. So that's kind of, just stuff that we look into when we get a card is okay, we'll go look at the other companies, see how they graded them. And guys, from what I see from doing all this research is that grading consistency is tough. And so the reason that we are using these virtual people to mark them up is because there's so much mental manipulation when you actually are grading a card for someone else. And that's me being 100% transparent, from grading my own cards to put into sample slabs to grading the cards that we've gotten so far, and just doing this, getting ready, is that there's no grader at any company that is giving out a perfect grade with subgrades or without subgrades, because you basically, you're at the, you could be ridiculed by everybody, not necessarily you, but, they're like, this could cost me my job. What if this guy is giving us, $100,000 a month grading cards? And I give this card a 9 or 9.5, all that stuff makes a difference. But I see cards all the time with subgrades on them. And I'm like, PWCC has beautiful scans on their cards on eBay. You can tell the difference in scratches and on the slab and on the card. And, it's up to the grader. So, putting that on.
And there's no grading company that's perfect. Whether you're looking at any of the big dogs, the PSAs and the BGSs of the world, there's plenty of, everyone just does the best they can. So I think that the thing I like is I can feel that you have a passion for it, that it's not it's not just kind of a fly by night type, I get the feeling that you enjoy the cards and that you really have a passion for the hobby and getting it right. So I think there's something to be said for that. How are the slabs sealed? Sonic welder, glue, snap tight, asks Russ.
Sonic welder in the beginning. That's what we were going with. Like I said before, we have companies here locally, and our goal is to figure out how we can, they can create something that's self-locking. and I don't know. And we, obviously didn't go into that with them on the front end because we wanted to get launched and do that, be able to, take advantage of, the market, right? Not take advantage of the market, but come out, release, and steadily improve instead of, come out, have spent all of the money that we have, ready to build out all these things and it not work. So, we're getting started. We're going to grow quickly. And our plan is to, not take more orders than we can handle, because we don't want to be, CSG just put out a text or tweet today that they're raising their prices in a week. We don't want to, we're not going to do that. It's like, we shouldn't put the burden on you guys when it's our company that's actually made the mistake. If we agreed to do, we sold slots for people to grade their cards, then we couldn't get them back. Then we should stop taking orders, or, stop taking so many orders instead of just increasing the prices and doing stuff like that. And that's something that, we don't want to do as a company. We want to be transparent. We're going to, utilize technology and try to grow as quickly as possible, but we're not going to go out there and just take orders and then, hey, yeah, well, tomorrow the prices are, our cheapest price is $50 a card, and we've barely even sold anything yet, or people barely even sold anything yet.
I am kind of putting you on the spot a little bit here, but how many cards do you think you could grade daily or weekly for that matter? Have you thought about that? Like, hey, if we get a rush, what could we realistically grade a day or a week? And I'm asking that because at some point, if you do get busy, you will have to say like, all right, we're capping off at this, or we're, do you have a number in mind for that stuff, or are you just still kind of seeing how it goes?
No, I mean, so we're pretty confident that the 1,500 cards that we have for this first order, that we could grade 500 a week, and in 30 days we'll start shipping them back. I mean, obviously, the way we're going to be grading them is that we allowed only 100 express orders on this first submission, which we're not going to have another submission for I think probably 10 to 14 days. Our original goal was to be launched by April 30th, and we're ready to go now, and it's 9 days early.
So does that mean you're not taking any new orders for another 10, 14 days? Is that right?
Once we sell out on the website, there is 1,000. Well, there's been people ordering stuff, I think, as we've been talking, but there were already people ordering stuff. We had 1,000 standard submissions on there. We had 100 express orders, and there were 20 bulk orders of 20 cards. And I believe that's 1,500 cards. I don't know, my math might be off, but we're going to, it'll be sold out is what it'll show on our website, or at least it should. We haven't been sold out yet, so hopefully it marks it sold out. But
so you are kind of queuing a little bit to where it's not like you're going to take 50,000 or 50,000 cards, and just keep them coming. You're going to kind of just cap it, and just do it in stages.
Absolutely, but we got some stuff like planned a little bit differently. So I know right now that there is Prism basketball, and this is something I wanted to kind of announce during this video, is that there's Prism basketball and Select football right now, and I guess Select basketball probably comes out soon. We're going to have something for that too when it comes out. But if you send us a Select football or a Prism basketball card, we will send you back a voucher for 50% off on a card on your next order, and you'll get a custom label upgrade if you want it on this one. So basically, if you do an order with us, and send us one of those cards for, for this first order, you're going to get 50% off of, your grading fee for the next card you send in. If you send us another order, you'll get 50% off on the card. So instead of paying $25, you'd pay $12.50 on, for each select card that you send in to us on that. And then, same for the Prism for this order. We'll send you back some vouchers. You also get, like I said, a free custom upgrade for any Select or Prism this time, and then you'll get a card for 50% off next time you submit with us. So
you're talking about this year's Prism Select, Ziggy is
yep. This year's Prism Select. So it'd be 2021 Prism and 2020 Select Football. Yeah.
And I believe this is right, Ziggy. You pay when they're being shipped back to you. You don't pay up front.
No, you pay up front. You pay when you check out, when you go in the store, and you select your quantity for the submission. You pay for it then, and then you obviously pay for the rest whenever you get it. We did have our submission form online, but for the thing I was talking to you about earlier, we took it off because we wanted the first, 100 people that check out to be able to go and receive whatever we're giving away for that. So and not have to type in all their cards and rush through it. They'll be able to have.
Yeah, just to confirm, are you paying for the grading services up front or paying for the grading services on when they're ready to ship back out to you?
Pay for the grading services up front.
Okay. I just want to make sure I had that right. Okay. Because I thought it was the other way around. All right.
It's okay. Yeah. You're paying for the grading services up front, and you may be at some point, there may be an option for that in the future to, send us cards for certain cards and do that. We may run some kind of promotion, but at this point, we're a new company, and obviously there is demand for, grading cards. So you pay for it up front, and in 30 days you get your cards back. Or if you do an express, I think the time on that is like 7 business days. So
is it 30 business days or 30 calendar days?
I'm not sure if it's at 30 to 45 days or 30 business days, but 30 business days is our estimated return time. If you send us your cards tomorrow and they start getting here next week, then, you'll be looking at getting your cards back. Some people sooner than others, obviously, as we receive them, that's how they're going to be processed into our system. But yeah, you'll be getting your cards back by the end of the month or beginning of June. Yeah.
Okay. And then, what was I going to ask? I had something and then I lost it. I was going to ask a question on the back of that. I can't think of it. Dang it. All right, guys, throw in. We're at about the hour mark. If you've got anything else that you wanted to get answered from Carsyn, I'm trying to think of. I feel like I'm missing something, and I'm not remembering what it is. But go ahead and throw those questions in the chat, and we'll get them up for him so that he can get those answered. Let me go back to just through the chat, make sure I didn't miss anything.
Donald Schaefer says you're going to have a cap on your orders per week. This first submission that we're doing, that you can go on and check out right now, we're allowing 1,000 standard submissions, 100 express submissions, and 400 cards that can be sent through the bulk order. The bulk order, the only way you can send a bulk order right now is, I guess you could go pay $25 a card and send whatever you wanted to on that one. Just keep, adding quantity. But if you want a discount on the $25 a card, there is a $20 a card option, and the max you can send on it's 20 cards. We just wanted to, we wanted to do some bulks, and people who like submitting lots of cards, give them an opportunity too. We know we can't, take care of everyone, but that's our goal is to, be able to offer different services to, different types of people who like to grade cards, collectors, investors, bulk, whatever it is.
All right. And then what does the basic label look like that's not custom?
Basic label. Okay. So, let me grab a couple right here. I've got some of them. Just trying to grab a few that I like here. All right, so here's a couple here. This is our oh, there we go. This is the Splash X is what we call it, and it's a color match splash. So we take the cards and the background's basically that. This one we have different types of paper that we print the labels on too. For paper cards, most of the time, sometimes they're not, but for a lot of the paper cards we use, it's like an optic paper. It's a photo paper. And it's going to be.
Do the basic slabs have the team on it?
What's that?
Do the basic slabs have the team? Like you have Utah on that slab?
Utah, yeah. You just have
that's not a custom. That's a basic one.
That's a basic one right there.
Oh, okay.
This is a basic Splash X, and we just put Utah. It's just a general.
Right, so even the basic one has got the team on it.
Yeah. You can. Sometimes they have different stuff, but yeah. And then this is our where's that? Cortex, and this is the Raptors here. It says North, and that's like a Raptor saying or whatever. This is Tracy McGrady.
We're the North. Yep.
Yeah. So they're all black. The Cortex collection. And here's a Donovan Mitchell 9. There we go. Let me see what other ones I got. Here's a custom. And I don't know if it's hard to see on here. I'm trying to get it on the.
Yeah, I can see it.
But it says Mamba in the background. It's like kind of really crazy, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I can barely see the Mamba, but yeah, okay.
You can see it in real life. It's tough you have to get up there and look close. Let's see some of them. Yeah. Here's another one of the Splash X, and this is something that we're doing a little bit different here. Is on our logo here. We have some stuff that's going to be like kind of fun. We have some hidden in plain sight stuff. Not that I'm about to tell you about, but we're gonna let people figure it out themselves. But our basic 10 is the X over here, and it has 2 diamonds, one on top and one on bottom. And then, there might be some other special stuff that happens on some different cards, but we don't want to be known as a company with 2 10s, but we also, want to reward people who, send in good condition cards. It's not necessarily that you send us a Michael Jordan rookie that's a 10. You can send us a Mike Trout Topps 52, what is called 52 style redo. And it'd be a perfect 10. And one of the things we do is if you get all 4 10 upgrades, is you get a free custom label upgrade. So, we thought that was cool, something to offer people to, help them to want to become better card graders. Because something we didn't mention is, in the next 30 to 45 days, we're going to launch Graded XU. And it's going to be basically the training that we put the virtual trainers through. And it's going to help people who send cards into us learn how to grade cards themselves so that they can, obviously get more higher grades for their collection. I mean, you may have a, 1986 Bo Jackson Topps card that you want to send in because it's your favorite card of all time. But if, you came on our website and you watched some of our videos about how we grade, you might say, well, man, I seen one of those on eBay that was in this condition, or, I saw one at a show last week that, I know that guy. Call him and sell yours and pick up that better one if that's what you want to do. And we want to help our people learn how we grade, learn what it takes to get, a 9 or a 10, and, help them, make more money or have, better collectibles to pass on to, whoever they're passing it on to, their wife, their kids, their fans, whatever it is. So, yeah.
Good deal. Okay. When did the email notifications go out? Kind of what steps in the process? Troy's asking.
Okay. So as it is right now, the email notifications are turned off. I actually had another YouTuber order earlier, and he ordered 5 cards, and then he messaged me he's like, man, I ordered 15 minutes ago. I didn't get my notifications. And so I had his number and I just called him, and he was actually on a live stream, so he didn't answer. But I was like, hey man, I'm going on Personal Finance Dad tonight. The reason you haven't gotten any, auto notifications if you placed an order tonight, and the reason that our site is checkout only in the submission form, will be emailed to you afterwards, is because we're going to go through tonight for the first 100 orders that are submitted on our site tonight. It doesn't matter if you submit one card or you submit a bulk order or you do an express, whatever it is. And all the people that have submitted up to this point, we're going to take these sample slabs that we have here. We've got 150 or so of them. And each person that submits an order, they're going to get a sample promo. And on the back, on our pop report, there'll be a section where it will say sample promos, and those will always be the first cards graded with our company. So, there's going to be, they'll be labeled SP00 1, SP0042 or 150. But yeah, we have all kinds of cards that we've graded, all different grades. And so we're going to go through in the order that they were submitted and basically, reach out to them and say, hey, whenever we send this back, your cards back to you, you're going to get one of these slabs for free that we use the samples. And, they want, the only thing these slabs don't have is they don't have our logo indented on the back because that's actually getting done right now, but they are the same dimensions as our normal slabs. And we wanted to do that, man, because we appreciate you taking a chance on a new grading company and having us on. And two, we basically, I don't really know right now, what I could even do with the cards that I'm grading. I couldn't grade them myself and sell them. So it's like, man, I might as well just, reward the people that decide to believe in us day one and give us a shot. And, reward that with, a sample slab that, will be on the back. It'll say SP whatever, and it'll have the number. And there's only going to be 150 of them in existence like that. And just kind of something that we thought would be different that I don't know that any grading companies ever did that. Maybe they have, but our first, 150 orders are going to get one of these sample slabs when they get their cards back. And you guys here on Dustin's channel are the first person to hear about that. The people who've already submitted don't even know yet.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Can someone ask about seeing the back of the label? Can we see the back of it?
Yeah. Well, let me grab one that's got the it's on there. Oh yeah, here we go. So you see that? So
yeah, there's a little bit of a glare, but yeah, you can definitely see it. And there's a what is it? A QR code on the back?
There's a QR code here, and this goes to, I believe, the website. We do have some that will basically play the custom label animation video where when you get a perfect 10 or whatever, and someone scans one of these, it's going to, play that label with the, music and the, show how the label is made and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we have that. There's our logo on here. And then, the serial numbers down here. It's hard to see on this camera, but it's right underneath that. And we've been making some adjustments and everything to all these. And so, yeah, I mean, like it was, what could we do to, be prepared for, day one. We want our labels to, fit in the slab. I've seen that from other grading companies. They're like, man, that the labels all move around and they do this and they do that. And so, dude, I mean, I don't know about my home printer and how much longer it's going to work. Cause I've printed off, hundreds of pages of labels to, test those things out and make sure that they, fit in there perfectly so that, there's no overhang on the sides and all that stuff. Like, we just want to get everything down to a T and be prepared for this day. So, yeah.
Gate City Picker asks, are you setting the sleeves and the top loaders back for the cards that they send? They send them to you in the sleeves and the top loaders.
So here's the deal. We are one of our final, we have a big long list of final things that we're going to take care of before, next week when we start getting cards in. is how the cards will be shipped back to the people. We want to do something unique, and we want to make sure that your slabs are protected. But it totally just depends on, I guess, the size of your order and how. In the beginning, we don't mind sending back the the top loaders and stuff and all that, but like a lot of times though, I mean, if you send a bad top loader, I'm so used to myself, if I get a bad top loader from eBay, I throw it down, and I put them all in a Walmart sack or something and go throw them away, because it's like I'm not gonna use those again. But yeah, we can if you want to request that your top loaders be returned in the beginning. I don't know that any other company does that, but we can put some of them back in there if they'll fit into the box or the way we choose to ship things back to people. I think depending on how unique we do on that, then that's that's going to be our tell on that. But yeah, if you want our ship back, we'll ship them back to you, man.
I'll ask you the easiest question of the night. Carsyn, who do you think wins in a sanctioned boxing match, me or Brad from the Comeback Card Investor?
Oh man, dude, I think Dustin Brad said he had a bike rack, but I think Dustin already whooped him a couple times, man. I remember a couple months back he had all those scratches on his face. I mean, he said it was a bicycle accident, but I think Dustin, I think he tried to pull one over on Dustin on ComC. He's always over on ComC selling cards you never heard of for 10x. I like Brad a lot, man. But yeah, I think Dustin whooped him.
Yeah, Brad's a good dude. I'm just playing with him. Ziggy says, "Don't return the top loader. It's too many details. Don't worry about it."
Yeah. Well, and hey, man,
come on, man, get with the program.
Yeah, dude. Well, hey, if you send us an email requesting your top loaders returned, dude, we're not gonna be like, no, we're keeping them, But obviously, if there's nowhere to put them in the boxes we choose, then we'll just have to tell you, hey, sorry, we'll give you a custom label upgrade, because right now, it's like that's about the cost of 25 top loaders. Is a custom label upgrade. So if you need them back, man, this is not a big deal.
That's a good question too. Is there going to be a protective sleeve inside the slab like how BGS does, or no?
So here's something that I've been thinking about is for like people wanting to grade smaller cards, there might be an option for something like that and not have to create a custom slab basically for that card. Is like something that I've been talking to the guy that's on our team that's been working with the slab developers. Is like, is there a way to grade smaller cards and use a sleeve to set it in the notch? Because obviously a penny sleeve doesn't fit in there, it's too big, right? But if you have a smaller card, is there a way to have something that some type of sleeve that you could use for those? I don't think I don't think we're gonna have one just for our regular one. I think it makes them look foggy, kind of like I like for the slab to be shine and clear, and I think any kind of anything on the card is going to take away from the beauty of the slab.
Good stuff, man. I think that we're going to go ahead and wrap up here. We're almost at an hour and 20 minutes. And I feel like this has been some good info. And I'm happy I caught you kind of right, like opening day. This is a good, it'll be cool to check back down the road a little bit, when you're driving around in Bentleys and running $1 billion company.
I have kids, man. I got to have a SUV or something to, lug all the baseball equipment and all that stuff around in.
Well, I wish you luck, man. I think that, good vibes. And I think that you're passionate about it. Obviously scaling will be I don't have any doubt that you're going to get business. It's just a matter of, what sort of business you're going to get. Are you going to be able to handle that business and all the, that's going to be that's going to be the big thing.
Yeah. And that's what we're ready to attack is, figuring out a way to make grading cards enjoyable again and not a pain in the butt. It's like, let's get it done, let's submit to us, and you'll see what kind of results that we're able to provide.
Good stuff, man. If you want to check out what Carsyn and these guys have to offer, it is puregradedx.com. And we will see you guys next time. I appreciate you joining us.
All right. Yep.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, guys.